I have a new theory I call the thrill of the sale. When products go on sale, they are usually not themselves scarce, in that they can be bought at any time later for a greater cost. Thus, one might assume that what is scarce is the consumer's own spending money, and although this might be the original reason a shopper wants to use a sale, I am arguing that the scarcity of the sale itself and not necessarily the spending money is what can be substantially important. With the thrill of the sale, the purchase becomes a sport, a game, or almost like hunting was for our ancestors. A sale might influence our choosing one product over another, or even one type of product over another. Buying on sale gives one a greater sense of value by getting something good for less. In my personal example, I was watching sales of a particular product, a camcorder, for a number of months. It was at its lowest beginning on Black Friday and in the weeks after into the first half of January at various stores and the company's own online source, but somewhat inconsistently. I decided I wanted it and thought it would never go down that low again because by next Black Friday, inflation might have driven costs up a bit. Therefore, I bought it at a sale about 2 weeks ago that was $13 higher than the all-time lowest I mentioned. Afterwards, I began to play the purchase in reverse, continuing to check sales to reassure myself I had gotten the best deal for this time range. The first week after my purchase, it went back up in cost. However, this week it was $4 lower than the all-time previous low I had noted from December and January, and it had never been anywhere near that low in a number of months before Black Friday. In making conversation with a sales staffer, I mentioned my experience, commenting that I was planning to use my story for a group project presentation on scarcity in a persuasion class. He said the store chain has a 15-day price matching guarantee, and all I had to do was bring in my receipt for the difference between what I paid and the store sale, which was $17 plus tax. I rushed over later in the day on my mountain bike, cycling over 18.5 miles round trip. In the minutes after I got my difference, I realized outside the store that the money made me feel less satisfied with the product than before, and that neither the money itself nor the product was nearly as scarce as this particular sale or deal as a whole. When trying to get satisfaction from my difference money separately, I could only hope to put the sale back together in my mind in an attempt to find the excitement I missed in buying at the lowest deal. I also realized that I could come up with a whole new idea or theory for my presentation. In conclusion, of course, the sale is what is scarce and not necessarily the consumer's money. Of course, a lot of our happiness and satisfaction can be built up in our minds, and I now feel happy and satisfied with my whole adventure.